If you don't have time to grind and you want to buy a stacked account in 2K with max badges, a nice record, and a high overall, hit my man SportsTNB up. His Twitter handle is on the screen, and you can find the link in both the comment section and in the description. One of those trends that died on Twitter a long time ago actually just made rounds around NBA Twitter pretty much most of this week. People were putting up threads for unpopular opinions on players, which really most of the time just turn out to be popular opinions that everybody ends up agreeing with. But of course, they get hundreds of replies, retweets, so there are a lot of responses out there. So basically, I'm going to be reacting to some of these responses because you know whenever one of these threads pop up, people have things they've been wanting to get off their chest. I chimed in, and my unpopular opinion for Kobe Bryant was that the fact that people hate on him every single day, 3 years after he retired, that's just a testament to how great he actually was. Nobody feels threatened by players that they don't think rank above their other favorite player or even have an argument to rank above their favorite player. So if he was actually as average as NBA Twitter actually tries to make him out to be, I don't think they feel the need to bring him up every single day. But that's just my unpopular opinion. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into some of NBA Twitter's unpopular opinions on Kobe Bryant. This first one says that Harden, Kevin Durant, and Curry will surpass him and bump him outside of the top 10. Alright, well, at least we've got a good start this time, right? It's rare you find somebody on NBA Twitter willing to admit he's even inside the top 10, but here we're saying that Harden, KD, and Curry will surpass him. So this is interesting, right? Because we can have a conversation about Curry, especially with his impact on the game and the accolades that he'll retire with. But at the point we're at right now, I don't see anything that suggests that James Harden is going to pass him or especially bump him out of the top 10. Harden's got an MVP right now. After this season, it will probably still just be one MVP. I think it's going to go to Giannis. But as far as him surpassing Kobe, I think he's still got a ways to go. Definitely got to win some titles and really just have more playoff success in general. I think one of the negative stereotypes following James Harden around right now, or one of the negative labels, is that he does not perform in the playoffs the same way he does in the regular season. It might be over exaggerated a bit, but that's the label that he has right now. And yeah, he definitely hasn't done anything there to put him above or really near Kobe right now, so I think it's way too early to start discussing that. But then Kevin Durant, you know, this is interesting because yesterday before my computer messed up, I actually had a barbershop talking about Kevin Durant's legacy. I still might do it, maybe tomorrow, day after, I don't know. But it's interesting because right now you see where people are saying, well, Kevin Durant made the weakest move in NBA history, so we're gonna weigh that when we rank him. He can win his third NBA title this year, his third Finals MVP, which will give him the exact same accolades as LeBron James as far as NBA Finals success. But people swear that they're gonna use that in the ranking. They swear that they're never gonna forget it. Yet we will find people that will be trying to put Kevin Durant over Kobe Bryant because that's how much they just don't want him there. I'll go ahead and give what I think. I don't think any amount of rings in Golden State is gonna put him above. I don't think that's gonna do enough to put him above Kobe, and this is starting to leak into the barbershop talk that I was gonna get to, so I might save that. But I will at least touch on it here and say that this is exactly where I was going with it. That 20 years from now, people are gonna see Kevin Durant's accolades, they're gonna see it on the surface, and they're not gonna be as mad as we are right now. We're experiencing what the NBA looks like because of Kevin Durant's move, so of course we care a lot more about it. We're a lot more passionate. We actually experience it. But 20 years from now, let's say he decided to stay in Golden State and now he's won, I don't know, 5 NBA titles, 6 NBA titles. He's got a Finals MVP from most or all of those. Once new narratives start getting written and somebody does something like him or even worse than what he did, if that's possible, people start trying to justify what he did going to Golden State. I think more and more they are going to be trying to push him up that all-time list. It's kind of like how the NBA world absolutely hated LeBron James and what he did to go to Miami until Kevin Durant went to Golden State, and that damn near exonerated LeBron James from going to Miami. And back then you had NBA executives and GMs saying that they thought he was more competitive. People had kind of the same anger, not the same anger that they have at KD, but they were mad with him for the same reason. But time has passed, something worse happened, and for the most part it's become forgotten. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Kevin Durant decides to do and what accolades he ends up with, and when people start saying, okay, I'm putting him above Kobe, because that's the funniest double standard in the world right there. On one hand you hate what he did and it's weak, but on the other hand you're going to put him over Kobe already. So oh, this is wildly interesting. This one says that Kobe benefited massively from the era he played in, would have been slated as an inefficient ball hog in the NBA now. And I really find that rich coming in an era where players are benefiting more than ever from the era that they're playing in. This era of the green light, take as many 3-pointers as you want, freedom of movement, the shot clock change which gives you more possessions, pace and space. How many things, especially offensive players, how many things are they benefiting from today? And so if your argument is that Kobe benefited from the era that he played in, he would be better today. Do you see what James Harden is doing right now? Do you see how he's basically, I don't want to say manipulated, that has a negative connotation, but do you see how he's managed to bend the game to his will so that basically you just have to hope that he has an off night, because otherwise he's going to drop 40 and he's going to get a bunch of fouls. So if you put Kobe in this era, who was a very good ISO player, had all the moves in the book, and you give him more space to do that in, like he's not playing with a center like Andrew Bynum, now he's playing with 2 big guys that can shoot, and he has more space to take somebody one-on-one, way more opportunities to make defense collapse, which probably means his assist numbers go up. Kobe is not the only player that would be better in this era. A lot of players offensively who are offensive superstars at any point in time, they'd be even better today. I would need this explained to me about why he benefited from the era that he played, and I don't understand that. Especially not coming in 2019, I really don't understand that. This one says that he's closer to MJ than LeBron will ever be. Well, of course, if you're talking about playstyle, yeah, I definitely think so. Probably not in rankings, but in playstyle, I think this is going to come up later in the video, but the biggest thing that he has going for him is the testament of people who played against him and played against LeBron and played against Jordan probably at the tail end of his career, I don't know. But at least the people who played against LeBron and Kobe, they all tell you that they would have rather guarded LeBron because of the way Kobe played. I was actually just watching this clip where Jim Jackson and Steven Jackson both said the same thing. They said that, you know, you can make LeBron get passive, you can kind of take some things away from him, but Kobe and Jordan would come at you with an array of moves the entire game regardless of how they were really doing. So yeah, in playstyle, he's definitely closer to MJ. In mentality, definitely closer to MJ. In ranking, I think when you look at their entire career, their overall body of work, I still have LeBron James ranked over Kobe Bryant. I'm not going to switch that. Jason Whitlock switched the other day. It would take something massive for me to just jump ship like that. I really try not to flip on concrete opinions unless it's justified, and right now it's not. Bring out the X-Files music. Dude said Kobe is the GOAT and the NBA vetoed the CP3 trade so he wouldn't pass MJ in rings. You know, this sounds like trolling, but a lot of people really believe the NBA had something against Kobe when they vetoed the CP3 trade. Like, that's actually a thing I've seen over all these years. People continuously say it. Maybe some of them are joking, but I see it so much, I really don't know how much they're joking. Anyway, shameless plug, I did this video on the main channel a year ago. I explained exactly why the CP3 trade was vetoed, and even after I've seen people recommend that video on others to Twitter, and even after they see the video and they have the facts presented, they still argue against it. It's like, man, the CP3 veto was all business, all within the NBA's power at the time. I'm not going to explain that whole thing here. Go watch the video if you care to know. The most underrated player of all time? Nah, not even close. Maybe the most hated these days, or one of the most hated. But nah, there's still an equal amount of people who appreciate what Kobe was and argue for him, so I think when you start talking underrated, you gotta look more in the direction of Paul Pierce, because it's become so fun to laugh at him as an analyst and find the humor in his retirement situation when Draymond said, they don't love you like Kobe, you thought you was Kobe. He's kind of become a laughingstock in retirement, so I think people, especially people who did not watch him, so all they have to go off of is an era where he was buried behind Wade, LeBron, Carmelo, Kobe. Yeah, I think Pierce is definitely more of the underrated type. If we're talking about all-time underrated, Kobe isn't even the greatest Laker of all time. I always find this funny because you know when people are trying to take something away from Kobe, they always use the words isn't even. Oh, Kobe's not even top 10. Kobe's not even the greatest Laker. Kobe isn't even this. It's always the same. Anyways, of course things like this are never provable. There's always a debate because there was many great Lakers, but to say it like it's definitive, that's ridiculous, especially when you have Magic Johnson that's came out and said it, when you have Shaq that's came out and said it. Like, the guys that we try to put over Kobe Bryant for the greatest Laker of all time have all come out and said, no, he's the greatest Laker of all time. But then it just becomes this giant love fest, right? Because then Kobe Bryant he'll give ground and say that Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time. Nah, I can't do that. I can't take that from him, you know? So who actually knows what these guys think? I think that he's no less than the second greatest Laker of all time. I think it's him and Magic, because when you look at the other guys that you try to put in that conversation, they all played for multiple teams. Kareem played for the Bucks before, Wilt Chamberlain played for a couple of different teams, Shaq played for a lot of different teams. He has a rainbow of jerseys. You talk about Kobe being either the man or super important to every championship that they won during his era, during his 20 years, and just what he meant to the culture over there overall, definitely no less than second. We can argue all day about Magic and Kobe, but I've seen people try to slip like James Worthy into that conversation. It's like, all right, go ahead and join the circus since you want to be a damn clown. Here goes one. Kobe is the most overrated player of all time in that most people think he's top 5 and he's closer to 15 to 20, and I actually like Kobe. Yep, gotta throw that justifier in there. I actually like him, but anyways, this is ridiculous. 15 to 20. This is just the stuff I believe comes from people who didn't watch him play. That's what I think. That's what I think, because look at his list. His list is MJ, LeBron, Shaq, Wilt, Magic, Kareem, Bird, Russell, Duncan, Garnett, Hakeem, Moses Malone. What the fuck? What the fuck? Where are you even getting your argument for Kevin Garnett and Moses Malone being above Kobe Bryant on an all-time list? Where? We can at least have a civilized debate about the other people on this list, and I'm gonna ignore the fact people consistently shit on Bill Russell's era but then try to put him above Kobe. I'm gonna ignore that. We can have debates about all these other people. Where are you getting Garnett and Moses from? And with Garnett and Moses, that was only 12 players. You can't even justify putting him in the 15 to 20 range, especially when you can't make it to 15. This is my absolute favorite because T-Mac, he got me into basketball. T-Mac was one of the first players I really ever watched play, but the Orlando T-Mac was better take. That's always something that comes up, and people forget that T-Mac was never ever the defender that Kobe Bryant was. This is from the people that watch a T-Mac highlight of him just doing people on offense, right? Where he has a 60-point game and he just had everything on offense. Even that's straight from the mouth of Kobe, actually. He's talked about T-Mac and all the tools he had. So yes, T-Mac was that guy, and I am not about to slander Mac. McGrady is getting no slander here. But whenever people try to put T-Mac above him, that's a slight, because that's only looking at one side of the ball. T-Mac at a point in time you could argue was a better offensive player than Kobe because he just had it all. But a better player? No, never. Kobe actually owned prime Spurs and Tim Duncan. You know, this is more like a fact that people choose not to accept. It's more of that than an unpopular opinion. First of all, the numbers show that. Second of all, yeah, if you look in Kobe's early days with Shaq, I can't remember which series, 2000, 2001, I don't know, yeah, he used to dominate the Spurs. But then one thing people never give credit for is the San Antonio Spurs won the championship in 2007. We come to 2008 where, by the way, the Lakers do not have Shaq anymore, they now have Gasol. The Lakers smacked them in 5 games. Not only did that happen, but Kobe Bryant averaged an efficient 29 points against them. 29 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and then this is the part where people try to throw in, oh well, Gasol carried him. Gasol averaged 13 and 9 that series, my guy. Not saying he didn't contribute, but if you look at overall Kobe Bryant's career, he owned the Spurs consistently. That's where the whole Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant argument gets really interesting, but that's another conversation. I think this last one is really important, and given the climate of today, it is actually it is unpopular that Kobe Bryant is underrated and underappreciated by everything except actual NBA players. Today that feels true. Go on ESPN, whichever show that these NBA players are always talking on. These are guys that played against Kobe and LeBron. Go listen to how they talk about it. They will all, or most of them will agree that overall as a player, LeBron is better than Kobe, but they all appreciate Kobe and appreciate having competed against him way more than any of the numbers show or way more than NBA Twitter will ever admit. For me, I don't always listen to an NBA player's opinion because they say shit that's as crazy as fans sometimes, and some of the stuff, it really makes you question their credibility. But when they talk about guys that they played against, guys that they competed against, I don't really see a better option than to kind of just sit and listen to what they're talking about, because they played against them, we didn't. And all of these guys were not Kobe Bryant's teammates, so it's not like they're just capping for him. And they all say the same thing. They all say with Kobe Bryant's offensive skill set, you will damn near have wanted to guard anybody except him. So, I don't know, take that for what you will. Anyways, this has been Unpopular Opinions Kobe Bryant edition. If you want to see me do this for more players, definitely let me know. Hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications on future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.